Hey guys, I'm Kim and today I will be doing a review on the volume 1 of the New 52 Wonder Woman. Apologies if I sound a bit weird and raspy today. I'm getting over a mini cold at the moment, but I just wanted to get this review done because it's such a good book, so bear with me here. So, the New 52 Wonder Woman relaunch, all I can say is wow. First off, I give this comic a 5 out of 5. I was so surprised that I got into this so much. I just want to say firstly that I've never actually read a Wonder Woman comic before this one, so I don't have a lot to compare to, but from what I've read of this volume, I thought it was fantastic. I really wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Now, I think one of the main reasons people don't want to pick up this book is because of the art. Now, as you can see, the front cover is very cartoony, and this also put me off at first, but don't be deterred, seriously don't, because the art does get a bit better inside. It's not as cartoony and outlined and detailed as the front is. It's a little bit less prominent, and it's very simple, the art, but it really does work with the story. Trust me, it really does. And you actually do grow to like the artwork, because I think the last few stories, issue 5 and 6 inside the book, is actually a different artist, and it gets even more simpler and even more cartoonish, so you really actually start to miss the previous art. So I definitely suggest reading it. Even if you don't like the art in the front, you will get used to it, and the art actually works with the story. Now, the main reason I think the art works with the story is I think in a lot of male comic book New 52 releases, and some of the old ones as well, they are very detailed. I know that the New 52 Action Comics is very detailed. They tend to detail a lot in facial expressions. They detail a lot of wrinkles and like muscles in the arms and stuff like that. But I think they have to do that in terms of a male character. You really have to show the prominence in their muscles and, you know, just how big they are in general, so they can be such a superhero. But for a female comic, now I don't want to be sexist or anything, but I think in order to be more feminine, they have chosen a more plainer artist to just sort of define the story and what she's like. They don't show definitions in all of her muscles. They do have a great outline of, you know, the strength in her body, but they don't actually detail into every single muscle and like vein popping in her face and everything. And I think that actually works much better in the story because you really see a more feminine side of Wonder Woman. So I'm glad this art doesn't focus on such detailing, because it really shows off her character and her storyline as well. Second off, I was surprised that this has a surprising amount of gore in the comic. Now, I wasn't expecting any sort of Wonder Woman story to have any sort of gore in it, but I can tell you for sure that this one volume of Wonder Woman has more gore and more sort of, I don't know, just like physical violence than any of the Superman action comics that I've read, the New 52 ones. So that was actually very surprising to me. Now, if you haven't read this book yet and don't want any spoilers, then just pause the video and probably go read it now, because I want to show you one of the pages of the gore that surprised me straight off, because it's right at the beginning of the book. Now, in one of the scenes, Hera is introduced. You don't actually know it's Hera until later, but she comes into a barn and cuts off the head of a horse, and something grows from within it. So it actually got quite gory. This is probably the most gory in the book that it gets, but there is a lot of detail in the blood and like the ligaments and stuff, so it does actually get quite gory, and I think it really adds an element to the story. I think that they're trying to get more male audiences in to read Wonder Woman. I'm not sure who primarily read her before the New 52, but adding in sort of all this gore and just this amazing storyline, I think a lot of guys will be interested in this book. So if you haven't read it and you're a guy, definitely pick it up, because I think it's right up your alley. The next thing I love about this is the introduction of the character Zola. Now, as I've said, I haven't read any Wonder Woman pre to this one, so I'm not sure if Zola is a main character in any of the other Wonder Woman stories, but I really loved her in this storyline. Now, probably because I'm a huge fan of Xena. It's my favorite TV series. So this really did remind me a lot of Xena, and I think that's probably why I liked it so much. The dynamic between Diana and Zola was very Xena Gabrielle-ish, and I really like that. Of course, Zola's not 100% really like Gabrielle. She's actually very violent and quite slutty, you know. But still that sort of dynamic is there where they've got this, not a bromance, it's the opposite of bromance, like a cis-mance, I don't know what you call it, but bromance but in female version. They've really got that going on, and I really like it between them. So I really hope we get to see a stronger friendship bond there, because it's really exciting to me to see something that's very similar come into comic book form. Also, all the characters I think are really well fleshed out. From not reading any Wonder Woman comics, of course I didn't know any of the characters that were going to be in the series. So the way that they integrated them into the story, I got to know them, because sometimes I've read things where they just chuck all these characters at you and you have no idea what's going on. I mean, if you've never read the series, you're not going to know who any of these characters are. So I like how they just slowly, progressively introduce the characters into the story. We had, of course, Diana, we had Zola, Hermes came in, and we had Ares, Apollo, a little bit of Zeus. He's actually missing in this storyline, or they say dead, but who knows. We also had Hera and Strife. I think that's about it. We had a few other Amazons from the island as well, and of course Diana's mother. So that was very exciting to see, because the way that they just flushed them out and really explained it to us, it felt a lot easier for me to understand the storyline. Now, I love the storyline probably because I love Greek gods and Greek things so much. It was quite easy for me to follow it, because I knew what each god did and what they were like involved with. So it was much easier for me to understand that. If you've got a really good understanding of Greek gods and their powers and the legends, then you'll probably understand this a lot better. But the storyline is still pretty precise and clear to follow. It's not like they just chuck in a whole lot of villains and they're like, okay, fight, you know. They've actually got a strong storyline going on, which is really exciting to see in a first issue. And yeah, it's just a really fun storyline. It's got a lot of dark elements to it. It's got a lot of fun elements to it. It's just good in general. Now, of course, while I did really like this story, there were some bits that I didn't like about it. Of course, everyone's going to have their doubts about certain things. First off, I'm noticing this with a lot of New 52 relaunches. They say that they're starting it again and they're relaunching the whole series again, but we didn't actually see a complete relaunch of this series. It was like Wonder Woman started and she was thrown into the series. We understand, like, we're getting introduced to all the villains and everything all over again, and it's like the first time for everything, but she's already called Wonder Woman. She's already in you know, modern day Earth. She's not on the island anymore. So, you know, it would have been great to see her start in the Amazon island and then venture out into, you know, Earth. And I think she's in London at the moment. So it would have been, and she's already, of course, she's already got the name Wonder Woman. So, and people know her on the Earth as Wonder Woman, because when when Zola appeared in her bedroom, she automatically knew it was Wonder Woman when she put on the suit. So we didn't really get to see how she became Wonder Woman, which I would have really loved to see, because obviously I don't know a lot about Wonder Woman. I would have loved to see the progression from her being an Amazon and trying to integrate into everyday life on Earth. So I would have loved to see that. Unfortunately, we don't see that in the comic. She just starts off Wonder Woman straight away and is thrown back into the world where she used to live in. She goes back to the island. And I also wasn't sure about how she started off in the beginning. I wasn't aware that she came from clay, so that was a nice surprise for me as well. Also that we found out, though, halfway through that she's actually the daughter of Zeus, which is, I think, explains a lot more things. I mean, why is she so strong? Why does she have so many powers? You know, being half god explains most of the things, and that would have been nice to have been explained in Xena, but they never explained why she was so strong and so good at everything. But I'm glad that we have this now, that she's the daughter of Zeus, and that she's a half god. Second thing I didn't really like about this was the costume. Now, from what I understand of Wonder Woman, the costume that they developed in this volume looks pretty much exactly the same as the old one. There might be slight differences, but to me, it looks the same. So for a lot of the other new 52 characters, it looks like they're trying to develop their costumes into a lot more modern, sort of edgy looking things. So it would have been nice for them to do this for Wonder Woman, because I am really a huge fan of the costume with her pants. I think that's very new, very modern, and that's what I'm really hoping for in the Man of Steel sequel, is to have her pants uniform instead of their sort of underwear short hot pants, because I think that's a bit, it's very sexist to me. I think, why do we have to put girls in scantily clad outfits just to call them a superheroine? I mean, it's not needed. I think she looks great in the pants, and actually there's a picture of it in this volume. It's one of the art drawings, which I just love so much better, so I'm surprised why they didn't actually do it. This is the costume with her pants, and I love this a lot more. It's just so much more subtle, and it just looks so much better for Wonder Woman instead of her short hot pants. I mean, I know the short hot pants are probably more Amazon-like, but if she's trying to integrate into everyday life on Earth, this would be a much better choice, in my opinion. So that's it for my review on Wonder Woman today. I really hope you liked it. If you haven't read this book, you have to go get it. It's really, really good. I was so surprised at how good it was, and if you're deterred by the art, really don't be, because the art really makes it what it is. As I've explained earlier, it just makes it so much better for the storyline and the sort of character she is, and trying to fit in life and not be seen as, you know, sort of a male brute character as a female. I don't know if that made sense, but definitely pick it up. It's a fantastic book, and hope to do more reviews later, and I'm going to pick up the second volume and whatever ones are coming out so I can catch up. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.